Hey guys, Ben BigStuff here. Time to check out another version 2.5 firmware update video. This video is going to be talking about the starting line section for using ignition timing to control your rev limiters. So what we've done is we've basically automated the process to use your timing to control the engine RPM set point for whatever you have whenever you're on the 3-step, 2-step, or half step. So how this works is, again, you've got to be on the new version 2.5 firmware. Under the system menu, you're going to have the start line spark PID common settings. Okay, when you enable this, you're going to have some PID settings, which typically are fine from the factory here, but you're also going to have some trigger conditions that have to be met in order for the timing to actually be used to actually control the engine RPM. Okay, so in this case, 1500 RPM minimum for the engine, 15% TPS. We've also enabled the custom port editor, and I'll show you why we did that. Come over to the custom port editor. You can see here that the starting line spark PID is true. We wanted to give it a little bit of a delay because basically as soon as it was going active, it was actually pulling out a little bit too much timing and it wasn't able to get it up fast enough. So we actually gave it a 2-second delay before it actually turned on, okay? And you'll see exactly why we did that here. The starting line section also has to work in conjunction with the starting line menu. So over here in the starting line selection, this has to be enabled because we use this spark table to actually control the ignition timing from. So you're going to have a main spark table. That's obviously being used for everything. When you're on the starting line, this table takes over and the PID loop works with what's inside here. So you have to remember that in order to use the starting line PID controls, the starting line section has to be enabled and all this stuff has to be filled. Now you don't have to use the actual fuel table. This can be left zeros. This is a percentage. The spark table here, okay, this is what is used, and you have to make sure you have something in here. You may have AFR. Just fill that in with whatever your target would be on the starting line at that section, because the main thing is we're using this table here for the starting line, okay? So once all that stuff is configured, you come back over here, all the stuff set up here, you're going to have a starting line spark PID percentage curve. You don't have to live in this for the most part. Basically, what all this table is doing here is showing you that when the PID goes true, okay, we're going to output about 55%. So what that means is that the PID is looking at whatever your set point is for the RPM that's currently active. It looks at what the engine RPM is, and if we're perfectly sitting right on top of it, we're going to output about 55%. So what that means is that if you got 20 degrees of timing in your table, you're going to probably be somewhere around 10 to 11 degrees if it's perfectly on the money. Because again, we're trying to limit RPM, right? There's no reason why you want all that RPM if we're trying to use timing to take it away. If we have to add timing in, we'll add it back in here. It's not a problem, but if we got to take more away, we can take it away. But in a perfect world, we're sitting around halfway out of that table, okay? So let's go look at an example here of what we got going on here, okay? So right here is a quick example of we're on the 3-step. We're coming up here. This orange line is the current actual RPM setting. Because what's happening is this application, we're actually doing a little bit of overboost or a little bit of overshoot to allow the boost to build up here for a little bit, okay? So this line here is the actual RPM threshold coming down. This is 5,500, and you can see what this number right here is. We're coming down. That's 5313, 49, 4,500. That's the RPM setting coming down because we're building boost. All right. You can see here from the engine RPM line here, you can see here that also as well, it comes right down here because the target boost is achieved. Okay. So we're just trying to maintain 2,500. This is one of our test vehicles here. But you can see here that as the RPM goes down, the RPM set point goes down. Okay. Our ignition timing, which is in yellow right here, slowly goes down right here too. So you can see here that the ignition timing was set for 20 degrees. Now, why did it flatline for 20 degrees and hold out that for so long? It's because we gave it a 2-second delay, remember? So right here, we start a timer, and that's 2 seconds. So 2 seconds out, boom, it turns on. We go from 20 down to around 12 degrees or so. Remember, we're going to be around 55%, right? So it sees it. Our actual set point is 3,200 RPM right there. So now we're coming down. The timing's coming down with it. and right there we flatline. We're supposed to be 2500, and you can see here that we're around 10.6 degrees of spark, about 11 degrees of spark, and we're sitting right there at 2520, 2530. Again, 2500 RPM is our target. So we're within about 20 to 30 RPM of it right there. And it just sits there, and it's going to sit there depending on whatever your RPM threshold is. It will find the happy place because the PID loop is doing the work for you. Okay? So by using the PID loop, it saves a lot of time, saves a lot of headache of just trying to get down there and actually sit on your RPM setting, whatever it is. Again, this is going to be in our version 2.5 update firmware. You can see here that, remember, this timing does work in conjunction with the amount of ETM that you have. Also, if you're doing any type of dwell reduction, it all works together to flatline that RPM. And if I come down here and drag from left to right here, you can see here that I averaged 25.25. My min was 24.96. My max was 25.55. So I'm within about 50 RPM of target. So it helps you out because this ECU can do everything from 500 horsepower to 5,000 horsepower, right? And we have to give you the ability to fine tune your ignition for what you're working with. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get really granular here and give you as much detail as possible so that when you're on your rev limiters, no matter what kind of application you have, you can really fine tune it and just sit there. And by all means, I think within, 20 to 50 RPM or whatever combination you have, that's pretty good. We've got some combinations where I'm within 15 to 20 RPM. It just takes little tweaks to get there. So if you have any questions about that, please give us an email at support@bigstufftpm.com. Please check out our website at bigstufftpm.com. We post on Facebook and Instagram all the time. Again, this is with our new version 2.5 update. At this time, it has not publicly been released. If you want to try this out, get on with our beta testers. By all means, please give us a shout. Whether it's instant message or an email, we'd be happy to give you a copy of it so you can try it out on your own. And please give us a shout if you have any questions. And thank you again for checking out this video, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.